What's going on, y'all? A-Stock here with another video. Here to talk about this entire fresh and fit Brittany Renner situation. I saw like a small clip of this on Instagram and it made me want to see the full thing because apparently Brittany Renner had went off both fresh and fit. So I'm here to go ahead and just react to the full clip. Apparently this was part of Akademiks Off the Record podcast.
Fresh's great idea was don't tell Myra until today. So we walk in, you first see Brittany Renner, and we're thinking you're probably gonna be like, okay, shit, we're gonna have this great debate. But you said initially, like, I don't think there's much to really like debate. Why?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We've always said it, like, men and women, we're very different. We have opposing goals. Like, girls are trying to, get resources, time, attention out of guys. Guys are trying to get sex. And girls, a lot of the time, are trying to get what they need to get out of dudes without necessarily giving it up. And some girls are good at it, some girls aren't. And then there's other girls that are kind of models for that are good at finessing dudes. And not to say that you're a finesser, I ain't saying that, but girls are able to, run laps around a lot of guys. And that's why our podcast exists, to help dudes out to understand, like, how women operate and how they move.
No, you have a different point of view.
Wait. Where do you think she fits in that? Because, I think her point of view would be diametrically opposed to you guys by saying, well, I'm not the exact typical person who you may think dudes are running into, or you're trying to tell people to stay away from.
I mean, well, sure, she could tell. She was saying that we're wrong, I guess, about that.
Well,
so you tell us a little bit about yourself. Then.
No, I think you know more about me than I do myself. So you're saying no, obviously you do though, because you said that you warn guys about girls like me. So
Oh shit. Now, let's preface by saying I don't think none of us are really the biggest Brittany Renner fan, but if Brittany Renner is the one to like rip these guys a new asshole, so be it. The enemy of my enemy is my friend at this point. I don't care. And plus, Fresh and Fit don't want a war with Brittany Renner's fan base. Like, she has a cult fan base. A massive cult fan base. So if they're smart, they'll just steer clear of her. But y'all notice something, how Fresh and Fit, they kind of both typically don't act the same as they do on their podcast. When they're on their podcast, it's like they're more themselves. But when they're outside their comfort zone, they're not the same.
tell me about girls like me.
Just
Humor
women
me.
in general. Like, I mean,
Well, no, but don't women in general, because you literally specifically said before we got on here
This was an off-camera conversation.
that you did say that
That's true.
you warn guys about girls like me. So now that we're face to face, what kind of girl am I?
You're not special. You're like other girls. That's the key.
I'm not special.
Like,
so,
you're like other women that are.
So
like,
what makes you special then?
God damn.
I never said I was, but you're trying to say, well, what makes me different from like a lot of women operate the way you do? Which
And
is,
how do I operate?
in general, what I just said before, women, it's a dance between the two genders. Men are trying to get sex. Women are trying to get resources, time, attention, whatever it is that they're looking for. And a lot of girls play the game better than guys. We talk about this openly on our podcast. And we're teaching guys how to not necessarily get finesse and get what they want out of girls, which a lot of the times is intimacy, but they're not able to get it. But girls are easily able to obtain money, time, resource, attention, whatever it is. Girls are running laps around dudes, which is why podcasts like ours exist.
Do you believe that Brittany has been effective in extracting, as you say, time, resources, and other things out of dudes?
Yeah, to a degree, sure. Yeah. I mean, like, a lot of girls want to do. I mean, here's the thing. You've been so adamant about me being incorrect, and I don't know, and you don't know me, and all this other stuff. Tell me then. Maybe we're off. Who knows?
Well, I think, first of all, let's bring it back a couple notches. Okay? So, there's really a lot to unpack here, because my first question to you is, what do you gain from telling girls that they're not special? How does that make you feel? I mean, I know everything is a joke, but I'm asking you a real question. So how does it make you feel? Because if I say you're a bitch ass nigga, that does something for me, right?
Shit. Not even 3 minutes in.
If I insult you, or if I tell you you're not special, you're forgettable, What does that do for me? No, but that doesn't. But that's what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying, what if I call you? If I just say that again, you're forgettable. That's why I didn't want to do you guys' podcast. Forgettable. Hate the setup. The name is underwhelming. I didn't really see the value in it. Right?
Okay,
that's how I feel. Right. But so that's fine. But for me, that's okay if it wasn't a fit for me. But I also don't need to, you know, in a way kind of try to devalue what you guys have going on. Because at the end of the day, I may not agree with anything you guys talk about. Because honestly, I feel like when you've seen 2 or 3 videos, you've seen them all. But the reality is that I went to your guys' page. And I went to the different links and the different services and the courses that you guys offer. And I do see that there's a place for that. So even though it may not have been in alignment with what I am about, I can still give credit where it's due without trying to devalue you guys. Because you guys are doing something special, right? Because you guys are, I mean, are there a lot of other people doing what you do? You could consider your guys' podcast special, right?
I think what she's mentioned is like the self-help portion for dudes, where you guys offer services to, you know, help guys, you know, either attract or you know, try to talk to women and really engage with them at a higher rate that you could, you know, potentially date them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the point that I think she's disagreeing with, right? When
I'm simply asking her to tell us about herself.
Now, I want to preface by saying, right, if people who watch their show do find value in that, whether it's, you know, self-help, you know, how to get girls, blah, 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 that's cool. That's all cool. I have no problem with that. If you're under the age of 18, or if you're 18 or in college, I don't have a problem with that. However, if you are a grown-ass man, you need some professional help before you get coached on how to get girls. You need some professional help. Because what the fuck went wrong in your life to where you can't get girls, or you can't even talk to a girl? At least a simple, it ain't even gotta be flirtation. It can just be a simple A-B conversation. Like, what went wrong? You would have to go to a therapist and then have somebody coach you, I guess. I don't know.
Because we were so incorrect. So tell us about yourself. That's all I'm saying. And then she went into attacking us. And
no one's attacking you. Because like I said, listen, there's a lot of people that.
There they go saying that they being attacked. She being critical of them, not attacking.
Will not sit down and have a conversation with you just because of the comments that you guys made. Well, you made. And, well, you chimed in. So you guys are Tweedledee and Tweedledum kind of, right? So I'm here to have a conversation with you guys. Because for me, I feel like what a lot of male-dominated podcasts are missing is the bridge.
Tweedledee, Tweedledum. Now, she's going to go into something where she's saying male-dominated podcasts. Now, in podcasts like they have, I believe there's a balance. There has to be some type of balance, right? If you look at what Daily Wrap-Up Crew does with their podcast, it's typically those 3 guys and typically 3 women who react, or they'll talk about certain things and have differences of opinion, have a bit of a level playing field. However, with the Fresh and Fit podcast, even though they be trying to capture that vibe of the Miami nightlife, being surrounded by women, you can capture that vibe. But for a podcast talking about stuff like that, it shouldn't be no more than just Myron and Fresh. And if they have a 3rd male guest, cool. Have 3 female guests. That way you kind of have a level playing field, and to where you're not outnumbered at the table. You're not outnumbered. And it's not a bunch of people talking over each other, making the whole podcast unprofessional. And I don't watch their content. But I'm just saying, from the clips that they've shown, from the clips that they've gotten backlash for, it's unprofessional.
Standing. So I came here not to argue you guys or to call you out of your name or to disrespect what anybody's doing, because I felt like the interview I had with him, there were things that he said I didn't agree with, but I wanted to sit down and hear his point of view. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So for you to say you're not special, well, I'm special to someone, just like you're special to someone, just like he's special to someone. So for you trying to generalize all groups of women, then we would have to take it back to where this even began. Like why you even have this view of women. And like I said, you have a bunch of dumbass bitches on your guys' podcast, and I get it. They don't challenge you, and I know.
You know what? She's right. She's right. She's right. There be some fangirls that be, cheerleading their ass.
Really smart guy, but it's like, I feel like you need to kind of just be honest and show people who you really are. Like, I know that for people to be dragging you guys and take this little clip and say that's who you are, that's not true. So that's why I sat down and had this conversation. I'm not here to degrade you. So when you make comments, when you make comments like, oh yeah, no women are special. So no woman is special, but yet you guys have a whole podcast dedicated how to get women just for sex. That's all you guys are. So you're saying men are just limited to just sex. That's all they care about is sex. Yes or no? That's all you guys care about. There's no emotional need. It's just my dick, cum, sex. I want a hole.
Wow, you are triggered, man. Wow. I think also she wanted a whole there.
Honestly, it's just I speak with conviction. Yeah, I mean, for you to say girls like me, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm assuming if I go off of what people have said about me, I'm a gold digger who finessed my boyfriend who I lived with and wanted to marry me and still would want to have more kids with me if I wanted to stay with him. I finessed him, and I guess I'm a gold digger. And so all girls like
let's bring this back full circle because you're speaking with a lot of emotion right now, and to be honest, you're not really making a point. I said at the top,
Myra, she did make a point, bro. You do, and Myra can't talk about nobody speaking emotionally. You can't talk about nobody speaking emotionally with the shit you said about Preacher's wife. You can't even go there. You don't even go there.
Men and women, it's a delicate dance between the two genders to get what they want. Correct? I said men want sex, women want resources, attention, money, time, whatever it is from a man. It changes per girl. Some girls want money, some girls want attention, some girls want time, some girls want a hot guy, whatever it is. But there's a multivariate requirement from women of what they want. Men typically it's just sex. So in that regards of intersexual dynamics between men and women, I'm saying
now, do men typically want sex? Now, I'm going to keep it real. We know that these two aren't really experienced enough to speak on subjects like this. It don't take a genius to tell that. But men don't just want sex. Like, to say that us men only want sex, no. We like sex. I mean, listen, the only age where you only want sex is when you are in high school or when you are in college. Them the only 2 times in your life you're gonna want sex the most. After that, it becomes meaningless. It's just, okay, it happened. You busted the nut. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Is the chick who you busted the nut with, is she gonna make sure you're okay? Is she gonna make sure, you eat or what? Like, we want more than sex at a certain age. You get what I'm saying? At a certain age, we want a woman who cares about us, who we can confide in about certain problems we're going through. And most of all, we want a woman who is loyal, okay, to the T. That's probably the biggest thing we want, loyalty. Because the older you get, sex is just, it happened. You busted the nut. That's all it is. It's just a nut. Busted. But if you can't confide in the person you busted nuts with, then what's the point? That's just me.
You're not special because you're like every other girl. You want to get resource, time, attention, or whatever it may be, commitment from a man, and a man wants to get sex from you. So when it comes to that, we're talking about biology of what men want from women. You are not special. You are just like every other girl, just like I'm every other guy. The difference is this. I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm special. I'm Myron Gaines. I can do this and that. We said all the time, city boys up, blah. Like, we don't sit here and try to make ourselves.
Y'all literally have said, like, oh, we're the only podcast that does this, that, the third, bro. Y'all all invested in numbers. Y'all always invested in numbers.
Special. We're regular guys. We want sex. It is what it is. But women run around and say, I'm special. I'm different. It's like, nah, bro.
Y'all notice how Fresh ain't barely said a word. This is definitely a, husband-wife relationship they have going on where Myron's obviously a husband and Fresh is the wife.
I don't live in reality a lot of times. You guys say, I deserve that. I deserve this. I'm special. Someone looks at me as special. Like, bro, At the end of the day, you're a woman, I'm a guy. You are playing the game to get what you want out of the relationship. I'm playing the game to get what I want out of the relationship or temporary relationship, whatever it is. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm special.
And I just want to add a side note. If you're in a relationship just for sex as a guy, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You are doing it for the wrong reason, and you should be single for the rest of your life. And the reality of this is you're going to be old one day. You're going to be old. Old, wrinkly bastard. Ain't nobody going to want to fuck you at 60 or 70. You ain't going to be in the greatest shape of your life at 60 and 70 years old. You're not going to look how you look now. So it's best to settle down in like a nice sweet spot age, right? Like 27, 30s, and find you a wife. Find you somebody who actually cares about you, right? And there has to be a level of attraction. Has to be. But if you think you just gonna hop into a relationship and just bust nuts, like, and that's it, you need to grow the fuck up. Sorry to tell you. Because in the end, you're the one who's going to be alone and miserable. And I also want to drive a point home. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be alone. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be alone. But if you're going to get into a relationship, you play by the rules. And make sure you ain't fucking her over. Just like you don't want her to fuck you over, don't be fucking her over.
What I'm talking about. You could say you're special in other regards, but I'm talking about between men and women, that is the game. That's how it is.
No, hold on.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought Brittany Renner was going to go even harder than what she did. But granted, I know what's going to be said. Right message, wrong messenger. Which, to a degree, people would be right. Like, we don't want to hear this from Brittany Renner. But hey, it's like the talking points that Brittany hit him with was actually spot on. Because women there do not challenge them for the most part. Some of them do. Some of them do challenge them. Most don't. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Do you think Brittany Renner should have went in harder than what she did? Let me know what your thoughts is in the comments. Until next time, it's been H-Dog here, and I'm out. Peace.